This week in Rugby League, heartwarming scene as good guy Tariq Sims repeatedly sends Josh Reynolds to meet his children on Sunday afternoon.
The Yeary of Cleary premieres with a teary kiri.
Coronavirus days are numbered as Dylan Walker's wife spearheads research to prevent being locked down with her husband and his PlayStation.
Plus, we preview all the action for round 2 of the 2020 NRL season.
All that and more this week in Rugby League. Welcome to episode 242 of This Week in Rugby League.
242?
342. Fucking jeez, I've gone back in time to a simpler time when Chinese were eating bats and it wasn't affecting the rest of the fucking world. Back before the zombie apocalypse started to begin.
When the only time Batmen were discussed was discussing the third greatest superhero in the world.
Or how fucking terrible Jared Leto is at everything.
That wasn't 100 episodes ago.
Well, okay, so let's break it down. 100 episodes represents probably about 3 years or less, depending on what's going on. So 3 years is probably about that. You'd be surprised when when Suicide Squad came out. I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon that'd probably be around 2016, but
yeah.
I couldn't be sure.
That's it.
I mean, like young children repress memories of molestation, So I do with bad movie experiences. But yeah, fucking how do we get to that? Oh, because I fucked up.
This record, that's got to be a record.
Yeah. Okay. So where do we start? I guess normally, how was your week? Fairly quiet, Fez.
I'm so lonely.
So this is something it just occurred to me then. Not necessarily story time, but picking up via app.
Yeah. In
an apocalyptic world where contact is I guess frowned upon. And so what's the term they're calling? Social isolation.
Social distancing.
Social distancing
is one.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I don't have a 1.5 meter penis. So.
But I mean, the 1.5 meters would if you had a 1.5 meter penis, that means
I'm social distancing 20 times over here.
So how does that? I mean, because you be out there, swiping and whatever the fuck you need to be doing.
Yes.
To get the ladies.
Yes.
Get the ladies. And how's the conversation go today? Or since probably the weekend.
Well,
when shit got a little bit realer.
See, I'm put it out there that throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
There's the same sort of person over and over and over and over. Only the surrounds change.
Okay.
And during the 80s...
They're putting their dick in people with AIDS. Is that the person?
They were called bug chasers. Bug hunters.
Yeah, what the thing is, though, they still exist. I mean, now it's kind of like...
Yeah,
it's not the same because now, I mean, you can easily manage it,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, any bug chasers now... would be like peak millennial self-righteous
fucking
fuckheads.
Posers.
Yeah, so that makes them the worst kind of human ever.
Yep.
Magic Johnson spits on them. But I would be extremely wary at the moment that anyone that you swiped on for anything...
Who seemed like ultra...
Like, yeah, let's catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to spit in my mouth? Yeah. Yeah, I'm all for that.
Like that stupid bitch in that stupid Insta hole or whatever that was like licking the toilet seat.
Yeah.
That would be, I guarantee you, I would bet any money that was like, she just disinfected the fuck out of that and was just, clout chasing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was a stunt.
Yeah, spot on.
But, I guess it worked, so credit to her.
I haven't been doing a whole lot of swiping lately.
Yeah.
in dealing with having, homeschooling as I am. So I'm now Professor Stepdad.
Ooh.
In my real dad moments.
I believed that the children were the future until about 30 seconds ago.
And so no, I haven't been swiping. But I would be scared to swipe.
Yeah.
If I was in a position to swipe, I wouldn't swipe. I can't.
Just because you're a real Australian and you're doing your part.
Ooh.
How many rolls of toilet paper you got?
I had a 24er before shit got real.
Yeah.
And I'm 3 down.
3 down. Yeah, I guess,
but
it's
I
either
have
1 or 1.5 people.
Yeah, I have me.
Yeah.
Or me and a 5-year-old.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's 6 months supply for us. Yeah. And I'd also I get a reoccurring order of tissues, of aloe vera Kleenex.
Okay.
Because I don't go in for that poverty shit for my nose and my jack off skeet sessions. So I get a big box of those delivered every quarter from Amazon.
Oh, there you go.
So
Amazon going to put a stop to that?
Last one didn't come. Yeah, last one they said they couldn't fulfill, but I still had.
When was that going to be? Like, it was meant to be
this week
over
or
last.
something.
Okay, okay.
But no, I'm good. So no. Long story short, don't fucking. Also, because 80% of Brisbane female Tinder are nurses.
Well, I mean, that to me, if it were me, that would give me a greater sense of comfort knowing that they are aware of the ramifications, and perhaps you'd just be like, hit it from the back or something, where they're not, spitting in your mouth or whatever,
Oh, well then,
whatever you normally do on Tinder.
Bounce that booty like a basketball, and if you don't shake it at all. What are you doing? Really?
I think we've established that you've probably cost yourself a week of solid swipes.
Like if you haven't spat in a mouth, have you had sex?
Yeah. I don't know.
No. I've been too busy doing the educating. I'm sure, as you saw on my Instagram, project on Monday was.
I did see that.
What is it? The year of? We were talking about different cultures, and it came from China came up because of the current virus.
Yeah,
and we spoke about Chinese New Year, and he asked me, well, "What is it the year of?"
The year of the bat.
So
obviously,
well, it is in multiple ways because I'm not swiping, but. When he said that it was the year of the whatever, I made the little shit sit down and write out 100 times. It's the year of Cleary. It's the year of Cleary. And so he understands exactly
he's going to go back
now.
and he's going to use that in a sentence. He's going to use the word year in a sentence and get fucking caned. And you know what? Probably deserves to.
And you know what? However much fucking money that those teachers are on, fucking halve it. Because it's the easiest shit ever. Do you know how fucking easy prep is?
Oh, prep is like kindy. It's like
exactly.
they're playing.
Exactly. Like,
dude,
basically, check in. Have you shit your pants in the last 45 minutes? There you go. A+ in social studies.
Yeah, throw him the DualShock, and that's STEM basically.
Exactly.
For prep.
Spot on.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I forgot his prep, and I was thinking, yeah, that would be fucking easy. I mean, it's like, there aren't really any real deliverables anyway. So you pulled him out, this week, Monday? Yeah.
Right. He's pretty advanced.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it helps when you can beat them.
Yeah.
So.
My kid is in Canberra at the moment on a school trip. So hopefully I get him back. Well, hopefully I get him back on Friday and not Friday in 2 weeks. But look at that. I mean, honestly, at this stage, the biggest, apparently in Canberra, the places they're going to, Parliament House and Old Parliament House and Questacon and everything, apparently it's all you can smell down there is fucking Dettol. It's just everything's been fucking nuked. He was supposed to be going to the Institute of Sport, I think, tomorrow, but they've actually pulled because they because they're in some mistaken capacity, they actually think that the Olympics are going to fucking happen.
Oh,
so they're like, well, we've got to separate the athletes and everything and not do anything that could be, interrupting to their training as they line up for the whatever's happening. Because there must be some world champions or some bullshit coming, and then the Olympics.
I'll tell you what, though, that's fucking potentially, and I know it's not rugby league, but to our sports brethren of other disciplines.
Yep.
Fuck, I feel for some of those people, like especially in those ones.
Even more so for the Olympics when they come around like saying. Every leap year, and
it's that thing of like with gymnastics. Mm-hmm. Do you get a multi-Olympic window if you're
Well, no, they grow that they age into tits and then their career's over, essentially, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how it works. I mean, unless they're genetically. Small tits. I don't know how to sugarcoat it. Fuck.
Yeah. Maybe Sharky Dave's a shoe in for a gold.
Well, they've stopped making Star Wars movies for him to act as a fucking Ewok. So. I lost where I was going to be at. Yeah, but it sucks to be an Olympian because at the end of the day, I mean, say say you just missed the last Olympics.
Yeah.
So then you train your ass off, and then you're almost 4 years.
Yep.
And then you got to add another fucking 4 years onto that if this one goes down.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone can stay at the top of their chosen thing unless it's like something that's a hobby, not really a sport. Like the fucking dudes that shoot and shoot rifles and shit. Like, I mean, they can do them when they're fucking old men. They go to the Olympics 5 times. But actual stuff that's a sport that requires athletic prowess.
Yeah.
Tough to stay at the top 8 years.
Yeah, fuck.
The only person I know that could do it is probably Cliff Lyons. Now, getting it back onto rugby league like that. Now, I mean, we've already talked about the coronavirus thing, but it is the fucking absolute shadow over every minute of every fucking bit of rugby league happenings, everything. There are no news articles other than what is going to happen with this thing that the coronavirus caused. Yeah. Like this scenario, and so we've had the Queensland Rugby League, like all that competition, all from little kids up to the in-trust.
Yeah, we got the
gone or postponed.
Yeah,
I believe the New South Wales Rugby League has followed suit, or will be like within a day.
That was actually the hardest part of my teaching career.
Telling him he was dropped from the team because
I had to have I'm pretty much Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting now. When I had to sit down and explain
it's better than being Robin Williams in 2018 or whatever, right? Well, it's a lot like a Dragons fan, really. Can you get Mars bars in America? They got a Butterfingers or something.
Yeah, I was going to say not a butter bar.
Robin Williams fans. Get mad.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? When I had to sit down and explain that after one training session, his rugby league career was over for the year. He's pretty much Jack Bird at this stage.
He's so young. I mean, he's like the next Matt Moylan. Except he's slightly older than Matt Moylan at this point. But over in the UK, they've pulled the pin on all their shit. The Women's Super League, all the other Super League, Championship, League One, which is I guess a relief for the Toronto Wolfpack. Now they realise that shit gets real in the big leagues.
Life comes at you fast.
Life comes at you fast. I mean, you can fuck champion level teams up with your fucking Josh McCrone, but I mean, take that shit into the real world.
they just do some fucking espionage level research. They go back and this fooey with a trench coat full of bats in it, feeding it to Chinese cunts.
Well, he's not feeding him. He's actually just like he's holding them in just like behind the neck and just like jamming them into their fucking gobs. What else have we got here? I saw a story that caught my imagination. I didn't write the story down, but just the concept of it it's something I hadn't thought of until I saw the headline. I was like, oh yeah, this could be amazing. A couple of years ago with this show, one of my true pleasures was when the whole streaming thing on the apps and everything, it was all new. It was before the NRL had the app and Telstra were doing the app, and then there was the one was like on live stream or whatever for watching the games overseas.
Yes.
And so, like, if you're in the States, you could watch these games on livestream.com, I think, for free. And you'd be watching these games, and then it'd go to commercial or go to halftime, and the mics are live. And, like, if you're watching it on Channel 9, it's like, blah, blah, Harvey Norman goes to commercial breaks, whatever. And then they'll come back and it'll be like, Kevy on the sideline or someone giving the quick wrap-up of what happened in the first half.
Oof.
When you're watching the live stream version...
Yeah.
You got Joey and Freddie and shit in the box, and it goes to the halftime, and they'll be like, "Oh wow, that was a bit fucked, wasn't it?" and then you'll see Brad Fittler take 60 takes to try and get his fucking 30-second discussion about the recap of what they need to do to lift in the second half. It was the best, and it went on for a while there, and you get all of them that Channel 9 game in the afternoon on Sundays was the best. Yeah, because you'd always get loose shit happening, and just and even if they weren't being loose, but just the shit that happens when the mics are hot. Yeah. But as far as they know, no one's ever listening.
Yes, that's it.
Just outstanding. And anyway, this headline, it kind of brought me back to that era with these empty stadiums where the games are going to be played. The mics are going to pick up everything. So unless the TV stations are very quick on the fucking dump switch, we're going to see some players, like, for example, Mitch Moses. Imagine a full stadium with people, and he's saying, get up, you cunts, and, all that sort of thing. Fucking get up, cunts, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
It's going to be that in a vacuum. And so you're going to be hearing.
So you're saying that I should turn up the volume this week?
I'm going to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
nice.
I'd love to be able to dump the commentary just so you can just listen to absolute silent, no interruption from crowd noise at all.
Yeah.
And all you're hearing is the referees and the filthiest loudmouth cunts. Can you imagine how brands would be destroyed? Could you imagine?
Yeah, 100%.
You imagine a player like, I don't know, I'm trying to think, it's like someone who's be like this can you imagine if like Tommy Turbo and he's like, he's young, faces game, whatever, and
we should probably be in agreement on what his brand is before we talk about.
Well, no, you've got
because there's what you think, and then there's biscuits.
He's obviously he's obviously one of the faces of the game, as evidenced by being included in the NRL.
Oh, he's more than a few faces of the game.
Clean cut, and no off-field trouble and all that sort of thing. But could you imagine? If he's like just starts, if he's just talking like me, he's just like, get these fucking cunts on side.
Hold it, you fucking retarded cum dumpster.
You just imagine, like that would be the greatest, and like I know that would instantly turn me into some fans if that was like some players on the other teams that I didn't like necessarily before then.
Yeah,
mate. Oh, like Mitch Moses, I'm looking forward to watching him play in an empty stadium because I know that he's a mouthy cunt over the top of the crowd and everything. You can hear him all the time.
And this is the thing though, I put it out there on Twitter. The fucking easiest way out of this is for the NRL to say, here's this club and we're going to put this in and it's a fucking dial-in number and you dial into this and then the opposition, this is yours. When they're in possession, they open it up.
Yeah, but
just open the fucking lines up. And before,
how do you vet the people who get on the line?
You don't. But the thing is,
so I ring up.
Yeah, but if
just let me give you a scenario. The Tigers are playing on the weekend.
Yes.
I self-identify as a Tigers fan for the purpose of calling into this
2020
this party line.
We don't kink shame.
Tigers get the ball. Our party line, I presumably, goes live. So you're hearing that?
Yep.
And I'm just fucking Tigers in decline. No.
Because, I get that.
Yeah.
And I did seriously consider that. And if you've ever been part of a corporate conference call, you would understand that if any more than 3 people try to speak at the same time, what they're actually saying becomes indecipherable.
Okay.
And it just becomes noise.
Yeah.
And so that takes out any sort of possibility of that shit fuckery, which would be hilarious, and I'm all for that.
Yeah. You'd be the same. You'd be on the pen right. You're the glory.
Actually, that might happen because there would just be 100,000 people chanting it at once, and it'd be better than a Viking clap. It's so powerful that the air after you finish speaking it claps for you. Like, I have not seen clapping like that since Cheeks at Stepdad's house circa beginning of 2019.
That was Corey Oates' last doctor appointment.
It's the easiest way. And as long as they don't do something fucked like make it one of those 50 cents a minute Big Brother things, you know what? If it's fucking $5 to ring in for the whole game, great. I'll sit there with my fucking phone on the charger, screaming into it every time Penrith get the ball. Every fucking time. But the NRL's too retarded to come up with anything like that.
Look, honestly, there's an established method of getting sound into games that exists. It's already happening. Fucking Souths do it now. Pipe in fucking just pipe in crowd noise.
Yeah.
But the only if you had some default level of crowd noise, that would probably be better than nothing. But ideally, you would want to have someone working.
They've got to categorise it.
We're working the soundboard, yeah. So it's like that anticipation when they get about 20 metres out. Yeah. The over the top. They've just scored a try.
And then what do you have?
In the Broncos case, an opposition player's injured.
Boo. Yeah.
Like things like that. You need to have that context sensitive stuff. Yeah,
but,
I agree.
Do you have like that? The decline in excitement when someone fucks up a fifth tackle option.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure that
my thing is,
they've had enough televised West Tigers games over the last how long to record that soundbite.
Not far.
Oh, Robbie Farah. Fucking even Origin, you get the loud noise of the state of Origin anytime Robbie Farah touched the ball, and just the entire state of New South Wales. Has ASIO bugged us during that period? Surely that could be some realistic disappointment.
Yeah, like that's it. Maybe like get some pornography and just play the orgasm sound backwards, and that's Robbie Farah touching the ball. Yeah, but again, like if you had people dialing in, at least that gives the players some semblance of they're here with us. That's actual people. It's not piped in. It's not artificial. It's not a laugh track.
Yeah.
Shit.
It sound like though. I can still sound weird.
Yeah, 100% sound weird.
Yeah, but it's. It does remove. There's no such thing as home field advantage while that occurs either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Now, they don't give a fuck about home field because they're like, well, we're playing in empty stadiums. Let's fucking run them all out of Leichhardt.
That's it.
Which is fine.
The only potential home field advantage now is that you would hope that the Cowboys have some sort of handle on that concrete like fucking surface they play on up there now. But not sure how much good that'll do.
What else do we have on here on the list to talk about? There's a lot of... Okay, so the Warriors, they're not offering any guarantees after this round of action. They have kind of made some moves towards indicating they might be there for a longer period of time because they brought over, who was it? Ignatius Parsi, Jazz Tavanga, Josh Curran, and Jared Beale. They're all injured at the moment, so they flew them over. They flew over today, just so they could be in Australia and serve out the 2 weeks of the quarantine because they're injured now, but they're about to come back from injury. While they're still injured, they come back. They can do the quarantine thing, and then that gives them 4 extra players worth of depth.
Yeah,
if they're stuck over here still.
I just want to say to all of the Warriors fans out there,
sure, bros.
Well, like we understand and we're used to it, and we won't hold it against you whatever happens. Like we're used to you guys, like just tagging on to the Anzac legend. Like you've got fucking 2 little letters in there. It's great that you feel important every year and that you have the same day we do and you do all those little things. We're used to you guys tagging onto what we do. We'll get it. If you don't want to do it this year, that's cool.
It's hardly the first time too. They could have played for an exciting win. When Trevor Chappell went with the underarm bowl.
That's it.
But no, they didn't try and smack it.
No, not at all. And we get that.
Not interested in doing what it took in a difficult situation to get the job done.
Exactly.
New Zealand in a fucking nutshell.
Pretty much.
But like our stepdad said, we're not holding against you.
No, not at all.
Much love.
On a serious note, though, that'd be rough for those fucking players. Like, they're talking out, well, hang on, this is your livelihood and this is what you do. And so, similar to the Olympics. This is what you've worked for. You've just had a grueling fucking pre-season. Your body's sore, but you're starting to get your fitness up. You're starting to get mentally right for it. Beginning of the season, long slog ahead. Now, all of a sudden, what do you do? Is it all over? Do you have to stay away from your family? What if you've got kids? Rugby league players of the age, a lot of them have got newborns.
Yeah.
You know, do you miss like 8 months of your kids? I don't know. I know people in civvy jobs do that. That there's FIFO guys, there's army people, you know, all of that stuff. But yeah, rough.
Plus, there's this new thing. I don't know if you heard about it, called FaceTime. Fucking toughen up, cunts. Dead set.
Look, on behalf of good people like Sir Chocolate himself, Hammers, I think he would resent that comment.
Yeah, but I don't think he's really got the ability to work FaceTime.
Well, you know how many fucking iPhones that cunt went through? Trying to have FaceTime sex and choking the phone.
He does have a vice-like grip. But look, in all seriousness, though, it is a shit situation. I would certainly not hold it against the Warriors if they were to say, well, you know, we can't fucking do it. Like, physically, we can't do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're pulling the pin. That would and one of the main reasons I wouldn't hold it against them is because it means that it takes the pressure off. No one's getting a spoon. They've got it.
Again, do you think there's room here for special... Is this where you would love, because I would, a governing body that was that fucking strong that as we speak, they are negotiating between Australian medical associations, I don't know, and the...
Are you saying to create some sort of tunnel where they can...
Like the... What do they call it over there?
Chilibun is
the...
Bro, LNP,
the Kiwi Office of Necromancy,
or
something of herbs and prickles. I don't know. Do you have medicine over there? Do they have poles?
I don't know. I mean, what do the hobbits do to repair themselves after carting the precious?
I don't know. They have to blow an elf or something. But seriously, say, okay, we have a situation where we have this team, and they want to go back and forward.
Yep.
What protocols do we need to put in place for them to come through? Do we have to charter private airplanes? Probably. Great. Then what do we have to do to get them from that plane to a team location? You know.
Yeah. The problem is though, it's then. They still can't see their families. Otherwise, you've then got these fucking extrapolated spikes off, unless they're going to camp families in lockdown.
Isolate the families as well. What do you have to do? What do we need to do for you?
And if that's the case, then I don't know. I mean, why not, cut out the middleman and just fucking bring the families over, get some sort of resort or something where, and that's where you live for, 6 months. That seems like a pretty fucking ordinary outcome still.
What?
It's better. The
families of the Warriors players get a 6-month holiday.
Yeah, but then the kids got school, and then and then there's families. They've got family members as well.
Look, again,
it just keeps going and going and going into a never-ending stream of contact of people.
Teaching's not that hard. We've been through this, Nathan. This episode,
and like in New Zealand, people they can't even talk properly, so their teaching standards must be even less.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I presume it would be.
Music. It's just like, how do you play the lollipop so you can do the hook the slice of heaven? Just go down to Servo and get a bunch of melody pops for the kids.
Like, seriously. Like in term 1 and 2, you're doing da da da, then boom boom.
Yeah,
you done.
Oh, and then the older kids, they get the instrumental music with the melody pops.
That's it.
Yep.
Then they throw their fucking hats up in the air. Done. Once you can get your boom boom. Love you, New Zealand.
Oh man, look, I did not expect it to turn into such an extended I did not expect us to be the Jake the Musses upon learning what Uncle Bully had done to his daughter. But, you just never... That's how life's unpredictable.
That's it.
Shit comes at you fast.
I'll tell you what, I would have bagged China for eating bats, but I've seen what they do to dissidents.
Yeah, that's true. I saw a funny tweet about North Korea and the coronavirus is like 9:13 p.m. one case of coronavirus, 9:20 p.m. 0 cases of coronavirus, 9:27 p.m. 1 case of coronavirus, 9:35 p.m. 0 cases of coronavirus. What else have we got here? What do you think about this idea of the Warriors? I presume this means if they were to stay based at Kingscliff or wherever they are right now, but then say, they were hit by a couple of injuries, and what would you then say to them loaning players from other clubs?
I think it is an unprofessional solution to the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, last week, the junior club that my boy plays for had exactly that situation when their opposition turned up a couple of players short, and so some guys from their team...
That is so unfair when that shit happens, right?
Yeah. At some stage you have to be willing to say that we've tried everything, and if that happens, then you just say, we're not going to award the Warriors the spoon. They can't compete for the rest of the year, though.
Yeah. Well,
if you don't have the players...
So what does that table look like at the end of the year? The Warriors are just sort of sat like on the bottom, but not last with an asterisk next to them.
No.
I think fuck that. I think they get the spoon. It might not be their fault 100%, but while there is a choice on the table, no matter how hard that choice may be...
No, they don't get the spoon.
Yeah, fuck, why not?
No. Whoever loses the most games gets the spoon.
Warriors,
unless
forfeit.
Where?
That is such a thing. And you and I don't have to fucking worry about that because our teams aren't going to contend for the spoon anyway.
Not at all.
But if you're a Dragons or a Titans fan...
Yeah, it's not the Erie of Churi.
So what else have we got here? Mitch, when I was asking people about things they might want to us to talk about in the episode, Mitch said, the potential of moving State of Origin to the end of the season has my foreskin flying at full mast. I think you probably need that to be need to look at that. Surely everyone else feels the same way.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the discussion was like Christmas time?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
A Christmas Day Origin game. Oof. I mean,
oof.
You're already drinking up and stuffing your face with ham and shit.
Yeah.
And then have an Origin game to watch while you're in that state. I mean, does it get any better?
Yeah.
I mean,
you got the Boxing Day test the next day.
Oh. Yeah, well, no, that's Origin 2. Game 2. And then you got to have, and on New Year's Eve, you got to have Game 3 before everyone goes back to work.
On a serious note, my concern is the weather.
Yeah, it's hot as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
it would all have to be played in Sydney, and even then, it's not great because whilst the better option than Queensland, it's still hot as fuck. Yeah,
yeah.
I ain't taking it to Tasmania. Fuck
and
them.
If you're looking at the highest level of the sport, played at the highest intensity,
yeah,
oof.
Dude, someone's going to die.
Yeah,
yeah.
Is this the opportunity that, if let's say Corona's done, take it somewhere where it's winter? Imagine.
Yeah, nah.
What would you get, right? State of Origin in the UK. What does that do for rugby league in the UK?
Fucking nothing.
Nothing?
Well, maybe some. I mean, they would fill the stadium for those games.
Fucking oath.
But what it would actually do for rugby league, though, I think is probably less.
Given the state of rugby union worldwide.
Union, yeah.
Just saying. I'm saying I would prefer to preserve the quality of State of Origin and play it in a colder climate instead of having it where people are just run ragged. That's just me.
Build a modern stadium.
You may say I'm a dreamer.
Well, I may say that, but I'll also say if you said that idea to me whilst walking a block adjacent to Central Park, New York, I may fucking shoot you down in the street.
Well,
we are not missing anyone tonight.
No, we're not.
We've wiped out China, New Zealand, John Lennon, fucking Robin Williams. This is the Savage fucking the Savage series. What about a modern stadium with a closed roof and you can control the climate?
Yeah, 100%.
Where's that? Better. Yep.
Not in North Queensland.
Well, no, fuck that. I mean,
their
stadium, they can't close. That's got it's like fucking 1/4 not finished. It's like the fucking Death Star in Return of the Jedi.
In terms of naming that, and I may have put it in the tweets, I forget. Did you see our dear friend Fat Harry Lazy has come up with the idea of just calling it the public toilet seat?
Yeah.
Simply because it looks like one of those old public toilet seats with the gap in the front.
Yeah.
Did they have those in women's toilets, or was that just for men? And what was the purpose of it?
Friendly fire, I guess.
Okay.
You know how it is.
No, I don't.
Sometimes you go into a public toilet and it's just so fucking gross that you just contribute to it rather than...
Look, that cunt ate a bat. That cunt ate a bat. I ate a bat.
Exactly.
Yes, okay.
What else have we got here to do? Origin. Yeah, Fittler's plan to revamp. Fittler had his own plan to revamp State of Origin this year and was to play it on 3 weeks straight through. If nothing else was going on, the competition suspended, maybe have Origin squads, train on squads or whatever, and those guys, remain fit and, perhaps train together. So the Origin squads are actually developing a longer period of time together, for camaraderie and combinations and all that sort of thing. And because the season itself maybe knocked on the head, but these train on squads for the Origin sides, they got nothing else to do, and then just play it 3 weeks straight up, 3 weekends in a row.
Yeah, look, and
I don't dislike that idea either.
Exactly, there's nothing.
It's predicated on the NRL season being suspended or postponed or whatever. But honestly, like in your heart of hearts, can you really see the season proceeding past like round fucking 5 without a sizable gap or total cancellation,
just based on what's happening in other countries, and the fact that they seem to be, literally and figuratively shitting their pants with what's going on at the moment. The fact that we're here just sort of we're just going to take the people away from the stadiums.
Look, and I can be completely honest and say, speaking from an absolute selfish standpoint, fuck yeah, I want games every week.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
However,
lockdown is boring.
At some point, if you're looking around the world and, the NBA shut down, baseball shut down, English Premier League shut down.
Yeah.
These are sports that you could only fucking aspire to hit the levels of.
That's it.
And they're all shutting their shit down.
Yep.
And you're like the last man standing in the competition. I mean, the AFL, what are they doing? I think they were saying they were going to do potentially a reduced season of like 17 or 18 weeks.
Reduced season where they play everyone once.
Yeah. But also at the same time, they haven't made a decision on what's happening with round 1. And then whether they delay it or...
Then you get rugby league where there's, in the Manly game, they've got eskies full of fucking disinfectant, washing the balls in that with gloves on and this. Then they give those sterile, clean, coronaless balls to a person and say, now run at that other person who's going to bleed and sweat all over you. But don't worry, the ball's clean.
That's
never change. Never
I mean,
change
like the sport of rugby league is such a fucking mirror of who's running our country.
Yeah,
like it's just this level of just barely competent, or or you could say outright incompetence. Depending on your viewpoint, but just like the base level. Like adequate competence.
Like we can see
be
how
able
you
to breathe
got to that.
and walk at the same time.
Yeah, like I can see how you got to that action.
Yeah.
But how many times were there that you could have stopped and thought and gone, yeah, nah?
Honestly, I feel like a lot of the stuff that's happened in rugby league over the last week is just pure fucking pantomime for appearances. Yep. That washing the balls in the eskies with the whatever, Daryl or whatever it was. That's just like, so cameras are watching that and going, look at us,
palm olive.
Look at us doing the responsible thing, disinfecting our shit because we're taking this very seriously. Well, we're letting 10,000 plus people into stadiums all weekend, and when we're not supposed to be. At the same time, then you got Volandis in the press conference. Rugby league aside, rugby league, talking about rugby league. And I feel like when he was talking about government assistance and all that sort of thing, I don't know if I'm giving him too much credit. I probably am. But to me, it looked like he was really just putting a flag in the sand to position themselves when the handouts start coming later in the year.
They'll get it. Yeah, that's it.
He was just basically, it was like walking up to the fucking deli counter and taking a paper number. So when it comes time to dole out the cash, rugby league's in, they've got their place in the queue and they're up towards the front.
Yeah,
and I think it backfired a little bit because I think he also, at the same time while doing that, I think he was doing that in full knowledge that ScoMo is like branded himself as this fucking rugby league Sharkies fan.
That's it.
And then ScoMo turns around at like his next press conference and says, fuck those motherfuckers, I ain't giving them shit.
Yeah. Look, there's going to be that much in the wash of this.
Yeah. It's so unknowable.
Like, it is.
It's just such fucking brand new territory
here. There is one certainty out of this season and out of Corona and out of everything that's happened.
Our Magic Weekend has been fucked up.
No, our Magic Weekend has been changed slightly.
Yeah, that's true. The rugby league portion of Magic Weekend
may happen on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And
without the rugby league portion, it's just the hangover.
But the only certainty out of this is that somebody is going to need to take a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
And it will just need to be seen if it is the broadcaster who will still say, okay, we will still pay up a certain amount to keep the product going because us taking the haircut on that ensures us,
years in the future of
revenue,
content, revenue. Yep.
Is it the governing body? Because the teams will all still exist, but just need a governing body to.
Well, so I think it's all of them. Players, they're not playing the games. They're not going to. The clubs aren't going to want to be paying them. I'm sure they're going to be paying them more than they probably should be.
That's it.
But the play still won't be. But then the players' standpoint, they're very black and white. Like I signed a contract for this money, and the optimal. They don't probably read the fine print.
Yeah, that's it. But talking, I guess, as groups, the players will take a hit on this.
I think everybody's going to take a hit of some type.
And that, to me, would be the best case outcome where everyone knocks a little off the top.
Has to give a little ground.
It'll be interesting. I don't think it'll kill the sport per se. There's people talking about, there'll be a new Super League version and they'll reposition teams and sell licenses and stuff like that. I don't see that happening.
No. But this is the thing. It's a massive unknowable scenario because certainly I can't recall a time like this in my lifetime.
No,
this is a fucking bizarre time to be alive.
I was thinking back through all of the major events that have happened, since I was alive. I'm talking.
And what are the major ones that you remember that were like the most disruptive thing? 2 floods, particularly the first one.
No,
up here.
I wasn't 74.
No, I mean the ones that were just like a decade
11.
ago. Yeah. Like they were.
That was almost a decade of Jesus.
Yeah, it's like 2011, and they were fucked up. Like at the time.
Yeah, but they were localized though.
Yeah. I mean, for us, so like for our experience, I mean, they didn't hit us directly in our homes.
No,
but
that's it. And I'm thinking, I'm going back to like the Gulf War.
Yeah. But once again, that didn't disrupt us, really at all. But it was a global thing.
Yeah.
But it didn't really
The closest I can come to is 9/11. And the actual epicenter of that was so fucking far away.
And it was like at midnight or 11 p.m. I remember seeing it after Sports Tonight or something, or like when it was happening live, yeah.
But the ramifications after that,
yep.
But even that didn't come close to affecting day-to-day life like it does here.
There's a point where, probably within the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to be playing this competition out ourselves for teams.
I'm just fucking happy that I haven't had to punch any cunts in the throat for singing My Corona.
Yeah, you think that's happening?
I don't know. Hasn't happened in front of me.
I bet you some fucking YouTuber cockheads have been doing it.
Fuck them. Look, if it's not on TikTok, it's not happening.
I'm stunned that it has happened on TikTok, to be perfectly honest.
No,
stunned.
Not at all. Not at all. There's a better one.
Better what?
Corona song.
What, how's it go?
It's Corona time.
Please continue.
I'll find the audio for you.
All right.
No, that's it. That's the whole audio.
Well, that was fucking disappointing. Moving on. Okay, recaps this year, because we are recording on Wednesday, almost exclusively, right? I mean,
pretty much.
It's going to be pretty rare. Like, Wednesday will be our default position for recording.
Yes.
And I can't really imagine a scenario. I actually find it a lot easier too, just because on the Tuesdays I found that I'd sort of have Monday would be sort of a slow start to the week. Take me a little while to get into gear, and then there's Tuesday and I've got to do the show stuff. But that Tuesday would be the day when I'd be like, oh fuck, I've got to do all the stuff I should have done on Monday. Yeah. So Wednesday, as it turns out, works out perfectly.
The only thing that's potentially problematic would be State of Origin, but that probably just means we end up pulling the trigger on those. Maybe we just make Origin a game companion. Just
do game companions for Origin. Yeah, that's fine. And look,
then for for non-members, just a recap straight after it.
Yep. And honestly, look, I don't think it's going to be a scenario we're going to have to confront this year.
No.
I think our recording schedule is going to be pretty damn flexible. It's really going to be when we can play these fucking games on the PlayStation.
That's it.
But anyway, the long story short, with recaps, because we're recording on a Wednesday night, and obviously the episode will be releasing very late Wednesday or very early hours of Thursday morning, on the day the next round games commence. Surely you've heard absolutely everything there is to hear about these games. So while we will talk about some of the goings on in the games when we do the previews for the following week, and just where things that teams did may affect this game, we'll probably try to keep the recaps a little bit shorter, just so that A, we can get your tweets in, and B, we're just not going over old ground that's been covered on for an entire week on other, on the main media and shit. First game of the season, the Eels 8 defeated the Doggies, I was going to say the Canterbury Bankstown Pell Dogs 2 at Wankbest. Good crowd. I think it was 21,363 was the official crowd, but I think the game was a sellout. So this was the first Corona thing. So they sold for like 40,000 tickets or whatever.
Mad.
But only 20,000 odd turned up.
Yeah.
Cowards. The Eels try to read Marnie Moses with a conversion and a penalty goal. The Doggies with just a penalty goal. I don't have tweets here. You want to read some tweets out? You got tweets, haven't you? I know you sent them to me, but I don't have them.
Those.
I don't have them in here. But and look, that game was pretty unfairly maligned, I think. And it wasn't a great attacking game. This is one of those games, like early season games, where neither team's attack was working. But like defensively, they're both pretty good. And the Dogs was surprisingly good defensively, I thought. Yes.
And here's the thing. You know what round one is? Round one is where the fucking forward packs turn up and get in order of who's the pecking order for the year.
Yep.
Because the shapes aren't that smooth. The timing's a little bit off.
Yeah, passes aren't sticking.
That's it.
Yep.
But in every single game, what stood out was, I think, which forward packs are really going to be the ones to watch this year.
Yeah, well, and there were a couple of games that were very closely fought games, and they were a stark contrast to some of the other games, I thought.
Yep. That's it. So on Twitter, GT351_Johns Solid defence by the Dogs, but fuck all in attack from very inexperienced halves. They may improve, not bad from a team suffering from a week of crap due to 2 complete dick snossages dragging this club down. At least the Dogs dug in and had a go. Fucking hell. At NotLV05. The seizure from my brain tumour was more enjoyable than this fucking shit. At Fat Hairy Lazy. RCG, Blake, Jennings and Sivo. Parramatta trying to do a Cronulla 2016 and win a comp with ex-Panthers. Looks like they've inherited our AIDS instead.
Yep.
Now, that is something. If you cannot win a fucking premiership with 2 ex-Panthers, you are an absolute fucking trash club that doesn't deserve to be in the NRL. There, I've said it.
And you have lost the trade by default.
Yes. Switzerben at B.43. 2 captain's challenges.
Do you think, just first, do you think he changed his Twitter handle just to get away from the fucking slamming that he copped as BENDUNN?
Yes.
I believe he has.
Yes. 2 captain's challenges, and my key takeaway is that rugby league players don't know what a knock-on is.
Mm-hmm. You see, they got better over the weekend, though. Like the challenges, the first night, crap, and then as the weekend went on, they were pretty...
The one that fucking got me was the Dragons.
Yeah.
Like, they had their challenge.
Yeah.
And it's right at the fucking end of the game.
Mm.
And there was that, was it touch, was it knock on?
Yeah,
yeah. And James Graham's fucking, just screaming at cunts. And they didn't do anything. You got a minute 40 left. Yeah. You're not penalised if you lose.
No, and I mean, fucking roll the dice.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
That's it.
Can I move on to the next game? Or no,
on Facebook.
Yep.
That Blake Ferguson celebrating a scrum with a backflip was the most entertaining part of that quagmire.
Yeah, I don't think Blake Ferguson anything is entertaining, to be honest. Fuck that guy.
Different strokes, different folks.
Am I good to go?
That's it.
Raiders 24 defeat the Titans 6 down in GIO, just over 10,500 in attendance. The Raiders 24 came through double to Jack Whiten, try to Gula, try to Whitehead, and 4 conversions to Old Teary Eyes. And Titans 6 tries to Don and a conversion to Ash Taylor.
Oof. Ian on Twitter said, good trial hit out. We'll need to step up against actual NRL teams. David on Facebook said, Mitch Rain follows his NFL dream at wrong moment as he throws 3 forward passes out of dummy half at crucial moments. Wasn't he fucking horrid? Jesus.
Yeah, all that false confidence they derived from the Nines tournament.
Mitch on Facebook. The fact that I've heard people tip the Warriors and the Dragons for the spoon over this Titans team makes me LOL, no matter which way it goes. And Stephen on Facebook. Justin Holbrook is on his hands and knees licking the footpath in hopes of getting the coronavirus.
Okay, the North Queensland the Broncos 28 defeated the Cowboys 21 up there at the what are we going to call it? I mean, like people were talking about, the come bank and that's just far too
it's low,
far
it's
too linear,
low, yeah.
So we need to get a bit more, just a bit more creative in there. But I think something around the toilet seat's fine.
I think the public toilet seat.
Yeah, and we just have to get a way to make it roll off the tongue better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the urinal. I mean, it's not a urinal, but you know what I mean? Like, something like that. So 22,459 was the crowd, and the Cowboys. Sorry, the Broncos 28. Their tries came to Turpin, Osako, Staggs, Pingu, and Fafita with a great fucking try. I mean, like a great looking try that was the product of absolute fucking diabolical defence on the 2 to 3 occasions on the Cowboys' part. Osako got 4 out of 4 conversions as well. Cowboys 21 tries 2 Holmes, Felt, Cooper, and Hampton, and Morgan with a field goal, and Felt 2 of 2 conversions. Holmes missed his.
Oh, mate, Fat Harry Lazy again. Fitting the new Cowboy Stadium looks like an old toilet seat when they serve up that shit. Hashtag Yeary of Cleary.
Yeah, you fucking captured his imagination with that one.
Oh, it's great.
More so than anyone else.
Well, no, he came up with it.
Yeah, but I mean, you fucking then you've gone, yes, I accept your tribute, and now he's just like, he's got to push it all the way in.
Jason,
you gave him the tip, and now he's balls deep for however long this season goes for. Balls deep.
Jason on Facebook said, Fafita made the Cowboys' outside backs look like Balinese security. Didn't cost him $30,000 either.
That try was fucking so crazy because I remember I was watching it on the phone on the app with the volume down and just didn't expect him to be out there. And I'm like, fuck, that guy's got some pace. and then you see the replays and you see the number and you go, Jesus fucking Christ. How the fuck was it him?
Yeah. Well, look, New South Wales Rugby League thanks you, Broncos.
Damn straight.
Ben on Facebook. Now, that was a game. Pingu woke up. Pass is unreal. That Fafita try was sensational. Even saw Fluffy make a tackle.
Hey, Pingu, he's become a fucking chocolate Josh Maguire, hasn't he?
Well, funny you say that. Michael on Facebook says, I wish TPJ would wipe out the grub side of his game. At this stage, he is looking like a Polynesian Josh Maguire.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I guess caramel Maguire, caramel meetings merchant.
And to finish this game off, Dave on Facebook said Val Holmes avoided David Fafita like he was Special K Online seed.
Man, Val Holmes, he was dead probably 60 minutes into that game. He's fucked. He's not quite up to it yet.
Yeah, no,
not quite
100%.
up to it. But without spending too much time on it, but that have you ever seen a worse effort defending a stadium on an illustrious night, when it's the grand opening, and you're against your arch rival, and you got your troll job statue out the front, which is we've talked about as the greatest statue
fantastic.
Ever. Fucking meat, because I mean, although the final scoreline, doesn't look too crazy. I mean, they scored a try. It was the Broncos scored like a couple back to back, which just buried them, and the game was well and truly over by that point. Just fucking lift, Cowboys. The speaking of lifting. The Knights, 20, defeat the Warriors, 0 in Newcastle, just over 10,000 in attendance, which is very low for a Newcastle home game, I must say. The Knights tries to Saifidi, D, Callum Ponga, Edric Lee, 2 of 3 conversions and a couple of penalty goals for the headgear hype. And the Warriors, of course, well, they may as well fucking stay in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's it. James on Facebook said, fuck these cunts, I just renewed my Warriors membership last night and now I'm trying to cancel my credit card before it goes through. Arseholes. Kieran on Facebook says, it's unfair of the NRL to give Knights fans false hope like this by scheduling such an easy dub round 1.
Fair.
Rick on Facebook says, go the Mighty Knights, 1 in a row. It seems after 15 years, Newcastle has realised that defence is part of the game.
Shout out Rick, 2020 member.
That's it. And Dave on Facebook said, the Warriors lost like that to the Steel City Titans. I'm glad they didn't play a good team.
Yeah, I feel that game is one of those ones where I don't quite know what we've seen from Newcastle yet. And the Warriors, a lot of people had penciled in to be contenders for the spoon. And I wasn't like a super believer. I thought the Titans and the Dragons probably still had the edge on them in that. But then I saw that game, I was like, well, yeah, okay. I see it. I see it.
Yeah, remember the weather, though. Like, I'm clutching at fucking straws here, but yeah.
Games are played in all weather in the sport of rugby league.
Yes.
And the Knights found a way to play somewhat in that weather. The Rabbitohs, 22, defeated the Sharkies, 18 at ANZ. A crowd of 6,235. So congratulations for being safe in this vicious coronavirus pandemic we're now facing, team. Good job, teams. Rabbitohs tries the Reynolds, Campbell Graham, Ethan Lowe, Reynolds 3 of 3 conversions, a couple of penalty goals. The Sharks 18 tries to Wade Graham and a double to the good Katoa. Sean Johnson 2 of 3 conversions and a penalty goal.
At Maho_Aaron on Twitter. Bronson Cherry will play tonight. Either he really has tested negative or his 4-week quarantine was backdated.
Solid start to the year by the MVC.
Yes, that is true. The biggest tiger on Twitter That game was fantastic. Great football to get the Rabbits out to lead. Exciting football to get the Sharks back in. Phenomenal call to bring the forward pass back.
It was a good call.
That's it, 100%. And tweet for this game was our dear friend who's making a run. He's announced.
Should have a couple of tweets, right? I mean, he had two of the best tweets I've seen him ever do, and I mean that includes outside of he won Gronk of the Year. I think he went back to back.
Yeah,
I feel like he went and he had a very quiet last year.
He did. Well, he
got cucked.
Yeah, like he was basically the world, and his child was coronavirus.
Exactly.
And,
she just took all the Gronk out of him, but he's back.
Yes. So during the game, his first one was, "Dear at China, please send your finest infected old people directly to Cronulla. I need your help. SOS." And then close to the end of the game, "Dear," and these are all caps, I should say, by the way. Yeah. "Dear at Qantas, get me on the soonest flight to Wuhan so I can buy every single fucking bat and shove it in Jack Williams' dick hole."
That was all. Because I'm watching on the app, so I never see these going through. And then I go back and look at the. I see the little dot saying as mentioned. So I go and look at it. I was like, oh my god, they're fucking hilarious.
That's it.
And so good, too good. The Panthers 20 defeat the Roosters 14 at Panthers Stadium. Once again, just over 10,000 in attendance. The Panthers 20 came from tries to Naden, Crichton, and Kickow. 3 of 3 conversions and a penalty goal to Cleary, and the Roosters 14 came through tries to Mitchell Orbison and SST. Flano Jr. with a conversion and 2 penalty goals.
Opening word goes to our mate at Fat Hairy Lazy. Hashtag Yuri of Cleary cunts. It's happening. Ooh. Troy on Facebook said, "If I have to hear Yuri of Cleary all season, I will dead set give up on life and support the Titans."
I think that
you better get ready to fucking run through because you're hearing that.
I think that you are going to become the biggest fucking coronavirus fan that we've ever seen.
Bethany on Facebook, hashtag Yuri of Cleary has begun. Also, Uppy was absolutely massive. 58 tackles and only 1 miss. He was fucking
the man.
Sensational. Rishi on Facebook, hashtag Yuri of Cleary. Stay salty, cunts. If that's the only home game I get to go to for a while, it was worth getting many coronas.
It is, and thoughts and prayers.
Yes, I would just like to say that James Tedesco will find it very difficult to self-isolate if he is consistently holding Bill Kickow's pocket. Because after that fucking game, that's what's happening.
Storm 18 defeated the mighty Manly Seagulls 4 at Brookvale. Once again, just I can't believe they got more than the other game. Just over 10,000 in attendance once again. The Storm had tries to Vooney, a double, Eisenhuth, 2 of 3 conversions to Captain Cunnox and a penalty goal. And Manly, 2 penalty goals to Rubes.
Long-time listener of the show at Paraman MK2.
Fucking long time. Like when I say long time, he's like one of those first dozen, like OG, like day one, OG fucking listeners.
Yeah. George gets my 1 vote just for providing me with his first banger hit of the season. Hashtag Yuri of Cleary.
See, this is the part that gets you. I'm happy for people to fucking Yuri of Cleary all over them, all over their fucking foreheads, and in Penrith games. But like, throwing it in just out of context and unrelated shit.
This hashtag spreads faster than the corona does.
It really fucking does.
It's its own thing now.
And you know what? It's actually like worse for society. Whoa. Got some music coming in there. I've got to mute that track, huh? One of those tracks didn't get muted. That's all right. I don't give a fuck.
Yuri of Cleary. Bethany, Melbourne fan on Facebook says, "I'm loving Hughes at 7. His kicking has really improved. The second kick for Vunivalu was so good. Shame we won't get much more of that with a season unlikely to last."
The week.
There you go. Okay.
Don't misquote people, man.
Mitch Doyle 13 on Twitter. With these new no gathering, no travel virus precautions, Sea Eagles will still be able to record the same amount of support at away games. That is right, because Manly fans are boring housebound cunts who don't travel.
You know what? And you're 100% correct in terms of Peninsula people who live at Manly. But having said that, I do take exception to that because, I mean, when it comes to actually away games, and particularly like Brisbane, North Queensland, Manly are one of the best supported clubs, with the exception of perhaps the Dragons. They're probably have got the best away crowds. Titans games as well.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, still.
Another Mitch on Facebook. The only game of the year where I actually find myself preferring Melbourne to win. At least it's out of the way early. # lesser of two cunts. # silver lining. And Andy on Facebook, interested to hear your opinion on this one. George needs to go. A big hit each game doesn't make up for costing us 3 tries and effectively the game.
He'll be right. Look. I love the fucking big hits. Like everyone does. I mean, that's the funny thing. It's the one thing I think about Manly that people like in this day and age is watching George kill cunts, especially when he seems to actually like literally kill cunts. Like Cameron Munster and people who play for Souths, for example. All his biggest hits were actual cunts. But it's game one. Desi had him fixed last year where he didn't really do too much.
Yep.
And I mean the thing that shat me about this game the most is that the try that should have been the most spectacular one. Fucking Vunivalu dropped it before he played. I mean, and that was the game. That was actually the winning of the game too, because that was the point where it was like, probably 10 minutes or slightly less than 10 minutes left. Yep. And it was more than one try in the lead. So then shit just degenerated and broke down, after that point. But just so frustrating because that was like, it was a lot of luck in it, but I mean, it was still like fucking spectacular to keep it rolling, whatever they're doing. And then that fucking dumbass drops it. But, over the line when he goes to score it. And it was fucking plain as day too. So, I don't know. I mean, because Cherry, I think he used the challenge in the first half and was successful. So, they still, I don't know.
No, there's a time limit on when you can do it.
Yeah, okay.
And so, the fact that normal people just go, yep, we'll challenge that.
And it was already, the worst thing is it was already gone to the bunker anyway.
No, but.
And they had their chance to look at it. So, what would happen?
He can then challenge it.
Yeah,
but the issue is, he comes around.
The same cunt's looking at it, right?
Yeah, but he goes, I'd like to enforce a new rule that came in the off-season when a lot of the new rules were enforced, where they included things like not allowing to tackle a player in the air and this.
The Tigers 24 defeat the Dragons 14 at win. 9,000 and a bit crowd. The Tigers 24. This is absolute. I'll tell you what, the fucking Dragons, dead set. Upgrade to king-size novelty Toblerones because you can't fucking deserve it for this. Nofaluma 2 tries.
Oh, God.
Benji and Lucky Leilua also tries. Benji 3 or 4 conversions and a penalty goal. The Dragons 14 tries to blah, 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 blah. And Lomax. And Lomax 2 of 2 conversions and a penalty goal. Fucking Dragons must have crossed the line, 6 times? By the time the Tigers scored their first points of the game, the Dragons should have been, I think they were leading 6-0 at the time, or maybe 8-0.
It should have been 18
minimum.
Yeah.
Fucking,
dumb cunts.
Look, I don't want to get cancelled, but the fucking retards, that's it.
Just say frittata.
Well, too late. I said retards now, and I'm doubling down on retards. Fucking retards. Fucking Dragons fans.
At JDHD44 on Twitter. Hunt is really not the biggest problem we have. Corey Norman has been a disaster. Our outside backs are appalling. Lomax isn't a fullback. We really miss having a link man like DeBellin, and James Graham is past it. You know what? Let me point something out to you. When it was fucking 15 to go in this game, or about 15 to go in this game, and you were well fucking in it, and the Tigers started up their momentum and were forcing dropouts, it was James Graham that was fucking chasing down those dropouts streets ahead of every other cunt on your team. He may be a step slower and a year older this time, but he's not fucking past it. He just has no fucking help.
Yeah, I don't think I don't. It was game one. Yeah. I don't think he can maintain it from. Well, coronavirus will save us from seeing it, but I don't think he would be able to maintain that for 6 weeks straight, because I think he is past it. But fresh legs in the first game of the season, and credit to Graham is due. But who was it that made that fucking bust down the left hand side with like 4 minutes to go or whatever, and it was a simple draw and pass and just went straight across the front of 2 fucking support players, and it would have been a try like probably 20 metres to the fucking 20 metres to the left of the upright, and that was 18-14 at that time. It would have been a conversion to win 20 to 18. And they because that last try they did blow the margin out a little bit. But look, West Tigers, like as I said to Real Dad after the game, I feel that the West Tigers, I feel like they can go all the way this year.
All the way to what?
To win, they can win the competition this year. If in every single game the opposition blows 15 fucking tries.
Correct. And again, we'll talk about this more in the previews, but just out of that game, as we were saying before, if the forward packs were on display, that was probably the least impressive game of the round. I think both of those forward packs were struggling.
I think the Knights and Warriors game was a bit. How's your father?
At Devon Head on Twitter. You can have your win, Tigers, but we all know you'll be 9th by the start of September. And again, at B.43 on Twitter. In a world full of panic and uncertainty, here's Ben Hunt providing us with a beacon of normalcy. God love him.
Okay, this week for the second and final round of the year of actual live meat puppets playing the game as opposed to digital avatars. On Thursday night we've got the Doggies taking on the Cowboys.
Yes.
What round would you call this? I mean, like, it's a round where 0 fans can come to the game. So what do you?
Virtual round.
Rooster round.
Yeah. Rooster round. That's it.
Hope Solo Memorial round.
That's it.
Look, the Doggies, I liked what I saw out of them last week in terms of defence. I felt like the level of aggression and intensity in defence was quite good. And I mean, sure, some of that was aided and abetted by the Eels, not quite having the passes stick and not being quite as fluid with the backline movements. Yep. But what I'm looking for in teams in the first game of the season is basically just like that commitment in defence. Yeah. And the Doggies have that. Do they have the players on their books to do something attacking someday? I don't believe they do, to be perfectly honest. I don't think the answer is going to be Wakeman, Lachlan Lewis.
I think when you look at a lot of other teams where it's things like timing and just getting those passes to stick, there's a lot about Lewis. Like, if I was a Dogs fan, I'd still get nervous every fucking time he puts a kick up when he does that stop hesitation thing. Yeah. That I'm sure should be fucking getting cunts called for offside almost every single set. I don't know, the angles might get me. And looking at the Cowboys, they weren't fantastic against the Broncos. Again,
there was this period where in the first half, though, where the Cowboys, they were kind of, like, it's weird to say because they didn't really yield any or many points from it, but when they sort of turned the ball back on the inside to a forward running through, like, they actually were looking like kind of crisp for a while there. And it never came to anything, but
it didn't. And I liked Drinkwater and how he was playing his game last week.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that's a team that still has Michael Morgan.
Yeah,
JT.
Blah, blah. It's his team now, and blah, blah. Yeah, nothing fucking... Like, apart from that run to get to the improbable grand final in...
Out of 8th, yeah.
Apart from that, he's done fucking nothing. I dare say, in my opinion, I don't think he's got what it takes to guide this side around successfully.
I think the Cowboys will have what it takes to beat the Bulldogs, though.
Perhaps. You know what? I think the one thought I had with the Doggies game last week was if they could somehow find a way for Harawira and Naira to unfuck that child, they would have won that game because they had a total lack of imagination and combination in attack. But the one thing they did have was, throwing that short ball to the fucking forward, running a great line. Yeah. And Harawira Naira scored a lot of tries last year doing just that. And I feel like he probably would have got one or two when the chips were down in that game before Parramatta got their arsey fucking try on the board. I mean, their try was just a lucky ricochet. That's it. So it could have been a very different game, but you had to touch the kid. And 16 or 17, maybe legal, but it's still a kid. Mm-hmm. Let's make no mistake about it.
Yes.
So Cowboys, you reckon?
Yes, Cowboys.
I feel like the Doggies can do it. I just don't know if once again, it's the second round of the season, and this round's going to be even weirder because you don't know how this stadium shit's going to fucking...
Yeah.
There are going to be players who can't get their brain into kill real-life game mode because it's not the and the atmosphere and the vibe and and the build up and all that. There are going to be players, and I think I don't know if they're going to be super obvious if you're seeing it, but I expect us to be surprised by some players who are just not fucking there.
Yeah,
and so I don't know who which team suffers worse for it in that game, but I think the Doggies can do it, but they'd have a much better chance if they didn't have to sack a couple boys.
Correct.
Dragons take on the Panthers at Jubilee. The Dragons, well, I mean, if the passes stick a couple of times and the ball gets grounded properly and, there's a couple of tries there. There's tries in them. Dufty back to fullback. I don't know what they're doing with this Zach Lomax situation. I mean, I thought they wanted him to be the fullback. And he has one game where I don't think at all that he was...
Was Dufty injured last week though?
But I mean, all the talk out of the Dragons thing is like they just keep moving, they keep moving Lomax around like one game or two games at a time. Give him a fucking role and stick with it and see what he can do, because I don't think he was at all like the worst part of.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Fucking Braden William bombed the try. Who saw that coming?
Yeah.
I know, Manly fans. And probably Catalan fans, wherever the fuck he went after that.
There was a lot to like in Penrith last week in terms of the first early season. I've seen them for a couple of years where it seemed that they could go with their opposition.
Yeah. After a point, though, it did take them a little while to switch on.
It did, but just I'm talking purely in terms of gas tank.
Yep. Definitely, yeah.
In that by the time that game was getting into the final stages, that they were still well and truly in it, and even had enough in them to get back and come back over the top of the Roosters, who, if anything, you'd probably almost forgive them because of their grueling schedule. They've played World Club challenges.
And you know what? The Roosters had the look of, when they were up 14-8, they had the look of that they were just expecting to win.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they were just expecting some fucking miraculous Teddy shit to come off or something. They didn't look like concerned at any point in the game, even when it was tied and even when they were behind. They never displayed any like urgency. And you know what? It's round one. I mean, Trent Robinson, he's similar to like Des. He's never going to worry about a team.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. For me, the most impressive part was that Penrith got up and they got into the grind.
Yeah. And
even when they were behind, they still played it like they were in the game. Whereas in previous years, and I think, Yuri of Cleary said it after the game in his interview. He said previous years they roll with 2 tries quickly, they roll over. And
which one's that? Is Ivan or Nathan the Yuri of Cleary?
Previous years they roll over and concede a ton of points on that. There's some very good combinations starting to develop. I think Jerome running around on the left with Naden will be a very good combination. Mansour worries me.
But he did pull out a nice arsey try with that kick.
He did. He also showed that he can't fucking jump for shit. So if every team doesn't just come out and bomb him all fucking game.
You know what? This is something that's not specific to this game. They're talking in the off-season about that rule change about the attacking player in the air off the kick. No one even fucking tried it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that situation there where the Dragons gave up a penalty against the Tigers.
Well, the Roosters' first try against Penrith was called a no try and set upstairs.
Yeah.
Because they assumed there was a contest.
There was a contact, yeah.
And I'm actually, fucking no one likes tries being scored against your team.
No.
But I think common sense prevailed in that, that was a contest on the ball. That sets a precedent for what we're going to do.
Yeah. Because I thought that penalty against the Dragons in that Tigers one, that was very fucking dubious. I mean, I was sure he had 1 foot touching the ground before the guy. I mean, they were trying not to do the thing they weren't supposed to do. But, it's just, it is the shittiest fucking development in a rule I've seen in a long time.
On that note, I was fairly happy with the officiating for the most part this weekend.
Yeah, I thought the officiating was fine.
Especially in calling cunts back walking off the mark.
Yep.
Like doing that thing where you get up to play the ball.
That's obviously the edict for round one. I mean, because it happened a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's it. And they did it well.
Yeah. But going back to that point, I can't believe that we didn't really see that rule come into effect.
Yeah.
Where my assumption was, because it's so OP towards the attack, I thought for sure, bombs that land a metre out from the try line, I thought that would have been I remember I saw the Dogs tried it for the last play of the game, but it wasn't really the same because it wasn't really a bomb. It was just kind of a kind of a heavy chip, if anything.
And it's that thing that it's going to need a little while for players to get used to. Like I saw in the Manly-Melbourne game, there was a time when, let's remember the good old one, if a kick bounced and you left the ground to take the kick,
you get fucking drilled. And
that's it. Whereas now you'd be protected under that rule.
Yep.
And Tommy didn't leave the ground for the ball. He waited for it to come down to him, and it was almost catastrophic, whereas what he should have done was jump because he'd be protected. But in saying that, I think with the way the Penrith forwards played compared to the way the Dragons forwards played, if those two things happen the same way again next week, Penrith win that game.
I don't think Penrith have got any fucking... I don't think there's any ifs or buts in this game.
If the Dragons forwards, though, play to their fucking potential... And this is the thing that gets me. Tarek, I see that he's out there trying to be the enforcer, trying to be the hard man. Yep, that's fantastic. But you know what? At least put in a fucking minimum of effort when you're not doing that.
Yeah.
Get out.
Remember when he was up at the Cowboys before he broke his leg or his arm, whatever he's doing? He would score a try. He was like the Cowboy kick out.
That's it. Exactly. Sorry. A sip of coffee.
You've got your thermos of coffee here.
I'm so needs to be fucking tired, hey? All that easy teaching, but then trying to organise the rest of my life around it.
Yeah.
Fucking takes it out of me. That's where I really think Penrith can be dominant in the forwards, so I'm picking Penrith.
I'm picking Penrith anyway. You didn't have to tell me all that shit. It's just Dragons.
Well, hashtag it's the Eerie of Cleary.
Hashtag Dragons are shit. Mars bars, etc.
Hashtag Hunts a cunt.
He's actually a really good guy, and I feel bad. He's actually such a good dude that I feel fucking terrible that he's so bad at football or has so many bad things happen to him on
Where has
fields.
this come from?
What do you mean?
That Ben Hunt's such a good dude that you feel sorry for him?
Because make no mistake, there are players that are cunts.
Yeah.
Captain Cuntox at the Storm. Mm. I mean, if he just had, I wouldn't give a fuck if anything happened to him.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say I care that much about Ben Hunt either because he doesn't play for my team. But I have met him, and he's good, and he's a nice guy. And so I do feel bad that he's had some all time catastrophic shit on the field happen to him, that 2015 fucking grand final moment. I mean, on one hand, I love it because it cost the Broncos a premiership.
Yep.
And that alone is the end justifies the means. But at the same time, I wish it had been. Milford.
Yeah, true. That would have been better.
Yeah. The Broncos take on the Rabbits. And when? Who knows? Friday night. Of course, at Suncorp. Friday night at Suncorp. I saw the betting on this game, and the Broncos were more than a little bit favoured.
Yeah, interesting.
Which I think is it's a little bit strange. Obviously, this is the Broncos coach v coach revenge game.
Yep.
A lot of animosity there with the way the trade went down and the seasons subsequently went. There's players that have moved as well.
Yep.
From Brisbane down. It's been guys like James Roberts, for example,
yep.
who are in the not happy circumstances.
Isn't it nice to see that he can still have a brain snap?
I mean, that's never going to change, is it?
Jesus.
Really?
Fuck Christ. Again, back to that paradigm of round 1, maybe 2 and 3 also being the realm of the big men and getting sorted.
Yep.
I would say close to the 2 most impressive forward packs meeting here. The Brisbane forwards are fucking young and merciless, and the rotation that they can put through. Obviously, they're going to be without TPJ this week.
Yeah.
Because, how many carryover points must he have now?
Well, he does. It feels like he does something every other game.
Yeah.
Gets suspended, comes back, a couple of games, looks great, gets suspended.
This is 4 weeks, though, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 weeks, yeah. So he's basically out until next season.
Yeah, that's it.
At this stage.
There's a year gone. And then looking at the Rabbits, and any time that the Sharks seemed to get any sniff back into that game, it was when their starting forwards were benched. When the
and they had a guy in the bin as well. That's how the Sharks got going in the first place.
And when you consider that Sharks forward pack includes representative players like Fafita and Graham, that's no small feat. I thought Totola was fucking massive. Burgess was great as well.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought that T. Burgess?
Yeah.
Because you remember when they came over, Sam was the shit for years.
That's it.
And then it was Sam, and then there was the twins. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't really much between the twins though. And then George became the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just goes to show the genetics. It was all there all the time for all those guys.
Paul Rudgiff.
Except for fucking Luke, or the shit one.
And South looked to be, close to where they were last year, with the addition of Latrell Mitchell, who I think had a pretty solid start.
Yeah, he was good
at fullback. Got a bit of an early mark.
Yep,
which is good when you can carry another fullback on the bench. What's your opinion of that? If you're coaching a team this year, there seems to be a trend of keeping a specialist outside back on your bench, specifically to deal with things like HIAs.
Yeah, look, I'm certainly not going to second guess someone with the credentials of Wayne Bennett on that side of things. And Lord knows, last year there were times I wish there was a fucking specialist back on my bench when some cunt got injured. So in the back line. So look, so I don't hate it. I just wonder when teams start to, when it gets to the business end of the year, if it gets to the business end of the year, and teams are all finely tuned machines, I don't, perhaps in a final situation, I don't know if you could carry that successfully without having an injury that requires you to use that interchange. I don't think it's. I think you're going to want to have, back rowers to interchange a bit. But
not everyone can have most
props.
Underrated man in rugby league, Isaiah Yeo, that can slide so effortlessly.
And good for him. He actually did something. He did a thing.
Doesn't he look good?
When he did the thing, I saw it, and I saw his fucking his Google eyes. Fucking, he was obviously thinking of some fucking space aliens or some shit. Or you could see there was whatever was going through his head wasn't football. I mean, he was somewhere. I don't know where.
No, see, he was there, and this is the thing. How good does he look with a couple of months off severe head knocks?
That's good. I mean,
understanding what planet you're on.
When he's got those 13 overlapping concussions, and when they die down to about 5 or 6. He does a thing. I saw him, I thought, fucking good for you. Good for you. You're never going to remember that moment, but good for you all the same. Look, honestly, I still don't rate the Broncos outside of that forward pack, and I just don't think David Fafita can do the thing every single time. He's going to be contained, especially when he's playing against a great pack. I mean, it's a good test, though.
It is. And if there's anyone that's going to expose a little bit of laziness, it's going to be someone like Cook. And Reynolds.
And if Latrell Mitchell and like James Roberts can't absolutely fucking penetrate Darius Boyd out wide, then fucking go and lick a fucking handrail at the train station or something, because that's it. End your season. I demand some Darius Boyd fucking highlight flops in this game at the expense, probably at the hands of Latrell.
I am looking forward to. Broncos fans seem to have warmed to Darius, taking the bullet and moving away from fullback. So they're always like, oh, okay, yeah, we like him again. This kills it.
Yeah.
This kills it.
I tell you, Rabbits, one of the teams where their attack looked slightly more polished.
Yep. For
larger periods, like how they got that try there with Campbell Graham, where they had a two free guys.
Yeah.
I can't remember who was inside him, but on that play, but either of them could have fucking scored without a hand laid on them. It was just ridiculous how they gave him so much fucking overlap.
Yeah.
But where are we next? I'm gonna say the Rabbits, but it's fucking early, man. Warriors take on the Raiders at Hope Solo Coliseum. Canberra going to win this by 1,000.
Yeah.
The Warriors, I just don't like for talk to be there that we're not going to stay and all of that sort of thing. That tells me that they're unhappy even staying this week.
Yep.
It's so disruptive. All that shit's going to be playing on their minds.
Yep.
Then you got fucking white ants like Adam Blair's fucking missus getting on there saying, like doing her bullshit, and and then you look at all of that, and then you combine it with the fact that it's a team that lost to Newcastle 20-0, and they never looked like they were close to firing a shot last week.
Yeah.
So I'm sad to say,
and Canberra were that good, because again we're saying in the previews they'd lost a considerable amount of talent. When you consider one whole side of their attack, basically.
Do you see a thing that they might get Rapiner back?
No.
Because of the whole quarantines and shit. Like, I think they probably called the season off anyway, but he couldn't get in. He couldn't play for the Japanese team.
Yeah, okay.
Where, it's because of the whole thing.
I wonder how that works with the cap.
I don't know. So I think they've got the room for. I think they've got the room for him though.
Okay. Fair enough.
If he can get a release from that and come.
What happened with Tarpany? Is he playing?
Don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Don't recall. I think he is, isn't he?
Because he was fucking. I just remember he ended up on report.
Look, I think the Raiders are going to win this game so easily. It's and it wouldn't surprise me to see the Warriors actually have that moment of mental give up. And if the Raiders get 12 points on them in the first 15 minutes, could happen fucking soon.
Yeah.
Early in the game.
That's it.
I would bet everything on that. The Roosters take on the mighty Manly Sea Eagles at fucking Leichhardt Oval. So what have we got here? Crichton returns for the Roosters. Manly should be about the same lineup, which is great. I'm stunned that Fanua Blake, Jake Turbo and Tom Turbo actually played the game, because I was certain that Desi was just fucking with people. Because we weren't supposed to get these guys back until about round 4. So the fact that, and they didn't go too bad last week either, considering it's pretty much the first time they've played together, since fucking August, August last year. Because I think Manly, they only played the one trial game anyway, and none of them fucking played. No one fucking played in that game really. So that was pleasing. I mean, it'll take a little while for their combos to come back and everything, but that's fine. We've got time. I mean, it's a long season, as they say in a pre-coronavirus society. The Roosters obviously massive advantage in this game. I mean, they're specialists about playing in front of nobody. So look.
When you see that, Manly start to get on top.
But the lack of sound.
But then someone hits a button, and a single giggity banner unfurls from the rafters.
It's just a sound. I believe in you, Rooster.
And then they just pipe in. I eat a bat for you.
Look, yeah, the Roosters played pretty well for the most part. Yeah, last week. Then Manly they played great for probably 70 minutes of the game as well. Especially in a game that was like one of those games we're talking about where there wasn't a lot coming off, in attack. So it was just there's a lot of good defense. The on the line defense was great. But who fucking knows? I mean, Roosters have got the side, but I'm not convinced about Kyle Flano yet. I mean,
yeah,
who would have thought that the son of a fucking disgraced cheat of a coach wouldn't be a like for like substitution for Cooper Cronk? Not me.
Yeah,
Manly 30 plus.
Oh, fucking stop it. The only sin the Roosters committed last week was exactly as you said, the sin of complacency. Mm-hmm. Look at how they started. Penrith didn't start well. They kicked the ball out on the full on the kick-off and, some poor decision making early on. But they opened up with a fucking great try. They know where their strong points are.
Yep.
At this time of the year, you don't really need set plays to be coming off for kick it to your fucking giraffe.
Like, I'm surprised, but I'm surprised that wasn't the thing. Like, when chips are down, when nothing else is coming off, fucking bomb it for Tupou because
he's fucking
you're not allowed to
gigantic.
tackle him.
Yeah.
And I expect Manly to do the same thing for fucking Tommy Turbo as well. Bomb it for him, fucking, because it's like in Origin, like the game-winning tries where he just fucking dominated Ponga on the jump. And that was when cunts were allowed to tackle him then.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, the Roosters are just that fucking good at getting into this just flawless, fundamental rugby league and just doing it a little bit quicker than you. Saying, okay, come with us. Okay, come with us. And they're just finding the point where you can't go with them anymore. And then that's where someone like Teddy will open you up.
Yep.
I do think they miss having their strike on the left because if you remember last year, that side they had where they could go with Keary and Mitchell running down that was fucking scary to a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And so defences were of two minds. I think it might be a little bit easier this year to really stack your defence on where Teddy is.
Yeah.
To shut the Roosters down a little bit.
Yep.
And with the communicator of the calibre that Tommy Turbo is, Manly are in it, but I think the Roosters will get it.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced about fucking Lachlan Croker being on the bench either. I'm not a huge fan. I thought Levi he was okay. Like he'll get better, but I think he was solid enough.
I think you've seen peak Levi.
Yeah, I doubt that.
I think that is as good as he gets.
I don't think we've seen peak anything in round one.
100% you have, and that's the point I'm making. That you have seen.
I don't think we've seen peak anything. Even I haven't peaks or depths. I don't think we've seen how bad the Warriors are going to be this season.
Well, you've seen Penrith knock off the defending premiers and stake their claim as hashtag Geary of Cleary.
I mean, are they the defending premiers if they don't have Cooper Cronk though? Yeah. I'd like to think they're going to get fucking smashed this week too and be sat on the bottom of the table. The Sharkies take on the Storm at Jubilee. How about the Sharkies? How the mighty have fallen. They win their premiership. It's all fucking glory, bags of dicks, the rest of it. And then, maybe we'll absorb the Dragons. And we'll be the fucking, and we'll be the coastal south of Sydney side.
Yes.
Now.
Well done.
No stadium to call their own.
You fucking Duganites.
Crawley. Carrying the contracts of the twin fucking the Scotch finger biscuits. Fucking Dugan and Moylan. Crawling down to the Dragons. Please, sir, may we use your ground? And and they've got Jack Williams in the side.
Fucking just
who basically just ripped off Gallen's jersey off the fucking clubhouse wall and wiped his ass with it. And furthermore, he did it on purpose. It wasn't just because they fucking got ordered at Aldi and he couldn't get any toilet paper. The Storm. Look, I don't think the Storm are great, but it's just amazing when you still have like the general leadership of Smith and Munster that they can still go, and like you've got obviously experienced forwards, they could still get into that mode where they like sort of lock down the game sort of thing, try to force dropouts and just, like they did in the last 10 minutes of the game the other day. That part is still like very Storm-like.
Yep.
Look, I think Hughes was he was okay. I mean, once again, they're replacing people that can never be replaced. Like even Pappenhausen. I mean, dude's fast as shit.
Yeah,
but he's not Billy Slater.
No,
nor will he be. I don't think.
And Hughes took a while to warm into that game.
Yeah, and in the end, I mean, he had some great kicks.
Yeah,
two great kicks.
Yep.
And that was really...
Yeah. Which is, for a young half looking to establish himself, if you can just pull off a couple of those set pieces perfectly a game, or as close to perfect as you can expect...
Well, you can definitely build on that.
Exactly. So...
if there's enough games to build on.
Yeah, true.
Look, I mean, I think just the general solid. This is a grudge game too. These teams, because of the grand final thing,
as much somewhat of a rivalry. Well, as much as it pains me to say it, how positive is that for Storm fans that they can have, two bitter fucking rivalries over grand finals, built over grand finals, with two clubs over the last decade.
Yep,
and they go in and beat both of them easily because they should beat the Sharks fairly easily this week.
I think they should.
Yeah.
Where are we? The West Tigers take on the Knights once again at Leichhardt. Leichhardt will be nice and chopped up this weekend. We should probably think about when we're going to do a... probably won't be this weekend when we do the game companion.
No, it won't be. Have to be the following.
Have to do the following one.
Yep.
So I'm not even sure what the game is. The two games on Sunday, those ones are. But
oh man, we can do it Friday night, Saturday night, whatever.
Yeah, that's true too. Okay, so the Tigers have dropped Cheekham out of the 17 in favour of Momirovski.
Now, did I read somewhere that there would be strict penalties for teams that were found avoiding HIA-checks?
Look, that sounds like something that would happen, but I don't recall anything specifically.
Okay. I thought before all this Corona shit hit that was one of the directives of the NRL this year that they would penalise clubs. And our good old West Tigers, and obviously when a fish rots, it rots from the head down. So I'm talking about that fucking goggle-eyed fuckface Pascoe.
Give them what they want.
Well, the fact that he would allow such a deceptive culture in a club stands to reason.
Well, he had to have some time off because of,
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was rubbed out of the game.
Snake.
Rubbed out of the game and was allowed back in on a technicality.
Yep.
So imagine if your kids went to school, right, and a pedophile moved in, technically, because he got off on a technicality, across the road from your school, and he's sitting there with binoculars all day, leering in. I'm comparing Pascoe to a pedophile in this instance.
Very clearly not saying he is one.
No, not at all.
But you're comparing, for the purpose of your analogy.
Yes. E.T. had that situation where he literally passed out on the back of another player on the ground. So the tackle was completed and he was unconscious. He passed out.
Yep.
And then got up and the Tigers trainer was out there.
He had no fucking idea.
Gives the thumbs up.
He had no fucking idea where he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was looking like a fucking absolute prime Isaiah Yo.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm completely here though for another resurgence of Benji Marshall.
Yep.
Just for games like that.
What a shame that he plays for the West Tigers.
I know.
Because, I mean, I could get behind his resurgence all the fucking way.
Just a fucking crafty veteran. Going to be an interesting one. Both of these games, I don't know if the victory was because victors were good or because opposition was very, very, very bad.
Yeah. Oh, well, both sides clearly had good passages of play.
Yep,
however, they played... the West Tigers were very fortunate with a number of bomb opportunities from the Dragons. They clearly bombed 2 tries. And that was the difference in the game.
Yep.
The Knights, they were playing against the crash test dummies of the competition this year.
Yep.
That's like the coronavirus business. It was a thing. I mean, the Warriors basically got to play that game just by virtue of sneaking in like a day ahead of the lockdown. Where the 2-week international quarantine thing became.
Really, Warriors, you're pretty fucking safe because like Corona can't destroy what Zeke has already done. Like it's like double Zeke-ity. You can't get it twice.
Yeah.
So.
Tigers.
Yeah.
Tigers.
No, I'm picking the Tigers.
Titans versus the Eels. Seabus. Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't even know what to talk about. Parramatta, even if Parramatta don't get their their attack in order, their botched half-assed attack, half-baked attack, not quite fully formed attack, is still going to absolutely run a train on these Titans. I thought I got to tell you, they were the most disappointing team in round 1.
Who's that?
The Titans. With all this Holbrook, it's going to change shit, and
oh really?
And fucking Ash Taylor is going to find his.
Fucking no.
And I didn't expect them to necessarily win the game, but I expected to see like some semblance of like attacking or defensive cohesion. But they just got a train run on them, just like every year.
Yep, that's it.
There was no discernible difference. Now they've got 13 players on the field.
No.
Between Titans 20 versus Titans 19, 18, and every other year of dog shit.
It's that thing with Titans every year that they have moments of individual shit country that fucks it up for the entire team. And whereas every team gets it from time to time, James Roberts had his brain explosion and that put the rest of the team under pressure. Poor old Titans get shit like Mitch Rain. Yeah, exactly like the tweet said, throwing fucking gridiron level forward passes.
Yep.
And he's supposed to be a specialist dummy half.
Yeah.
No team's competitive when that happens.
Yeah.
There's some fucking... And will forever be the argument against expansion of the competition.
Yep, they're fucking it up for everyone.
Yep.
Eels to win, and extremely easily. Okay, mailbag this week. I've got a bunch of stuff here. First thing... from David on Facebook in regards to the game where Josh Reynolds had the last game at Belmore. He said that was Dogs versus the Knights, also included the Moses Mbai charge down / try to go ahead as Newcastle went into their shell and played it safe. And Brock Lamb had a kick from the sideline to send the game to Golden Point, but shanked it so badly it left his career in ruins.
Yes,
and that was also, if I recall correctly, that. When Brock Lamb went to have that kick, who was it that fucking...
Was it foreign?
No, it was Knights. So, who was it that dogged him? Like Hodkinson.
Was it Hodkinson? Oh.
Was it Hodkinson? Remember, it was like a penalty and it was pretty far out, and he fucking dogged it and gave it to the kid. Who shanked it. And now it's coming back to me. Troy on Facebook, it took all of 20 seconds for you to drop the boot into the Sharks. # shark hating cunts. And I had to correct him and say, look, you need to listen to what I said during the episode, and I was actually very complimentary to the Sharks. Thank you, sir. Hamish on Facebook, stepdad playing the retard card already. Next you'll see him on an episode of Undateables. Great show, guys. Good to have you both back. Grover, some disabled hipster on his fixie peddling a drive-by on Aussie rock legend Barnsey. Fuck me, this is going to be a long year of fuckery. Look, Aussie rock legend Barnsey, he's fucking a Scottish immigrant in the first place.
As I replied to that fucking post, he's a Scottish boat person.
Yep.
And probably the reason Corona's here right now.
Sam, when stepdad said he had a stroke, I thought it was just because he couldn't get a Tinder date that weekend.
Oh.
And Kieran said, I had a stroke remembering that someone I talked to every fucking day had a stroke that I forgot about.
Yes.
And I replied, same.
Well,
until you mentioned it, I was like, oh, fuck, that's right. Yeah, you did too.
Let me say, same.
Yeah, but you're the only one out of the three of us that has an excuse.
I had a stroke.
You had a stroke, fuck's sake. And I want a big shout out to Lachlan. He, I was talking to Stepdad on probably Thursday, like when after the episode had gone out, and so Thursday through the day though, and I saw and like through the night saw these orders come through from Lachlan, and he's just like gone full hog on the membership, full hog on all the extras, then gone and bought like pretty much one of everything else that was in the shop, and I was like,
as we expect each and every one of you to do.
Yeah, I and certainly appreciate if everyone would do that. But Lachlan, I don't recall. I didn't really, like. He's not someone who'd really stamped himself as like a regular contributor and like tweeting all the time or on Facebook all the time, like gronking off and shit. And I'm like, who is this fucking legend who's just come in and just scooped up everything? And then he puts a post on Facebook. I listened to it last night. I had way too many fucking scotches. FOMO hit me like a bitch, and I ended up ordering everything I could find on the website. Don't scotch and shop. FOMO is expensive. This is something I should have brought up last week on the show.
Just before you do that, got some breaking news.
Oh, yeah?
To add to We Are Dumb Cunts 2020, Joey Leilua
what now?
Has questioned the NRL's money management and has said, I better not be taking a cut. So yet another fucking player that was really happy to demand a share of revenue.
Honestly speaking, do players honestly expect to receive full contract value money if they don't play another game after this week?
And you know what?
Honestly?
You had the fucking option to be basically salaried employees on a fixed income, no matter what.
Yep.
And the RLPA, the fucking great organisation that it is, fucked you all in the ass. So go after them. Or the fucking shit cunt leader of your club. I'm sure he's got a dodgy illegal way for you to make extra money, fucking Joey. Like maybe he can guarantee you a job at the club afterwards.
Because remember with the RLPA and they're like, we've set things up in such a way that when the game succeeds or expands or whatever, and the revenue, then the players have the opportunity to share in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a fucking flip side to that, man.
Exactly. There is no fucking agreement between two parties that is all upside for one party.
Exactly.
And he came out and said, we are like, and this is a direct quote, we are like, I better not be taking a cut because we've got mortgages to pay and bills to pay.
Fuck.
I'm not all for that if we have to get a pay cut. I'm sure there is some money in there in the revenue we've got. They, the NRL, should be saving money for if something like this happens. I thought they were handling their money better, but if they say we're going to last 3 months, we're in trouble. You fucking dumb cunt. It's not that they're not managing their money better. And look, I'll say to you, there are things the NRL could have done better in the past.
Oh, yeah.
It's the fact that they're not going to get fucking paid for this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they've run up debts that they have to use this money to pay,
and they're not getting paid this year. And they're not getting paid this year through some kind of corporate fuckery. It's happening in the face of unprecedented.
Yeah,
and the word unprecedented
is not used as hyperbole.
Without precedent,
it is not hyperbole 2020.
Like fucking hell. I believe they played this whole season in Spanish flu time.
Fucking
fucks.
You know what?
What? Someone stuck a microphone in front of him because they know he'll say dumb shit.
Yeah, but what the fuck do you think's happening to those people that work part-time and casual jobs? You think they don't have bills and fucking mortgages?
What do you think fucking happening to people like myself who fucking is self-employed?
Yeah.
Who run businesses that, let's be real, aren't essential, and they're non-essential fucking, things.
Well, for the people... It's a vicious fucking circle for those businesses that you keep their fucking business churning online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about me? Motivating future leaders of our nation. Trying to keep him off the pole. finishing at 3 p.m. every day because that's the mandated time that apparently education stops, and then doing fuck all.
And don't even get me started on the insane amounts of weeks of holidays.
Yeah. You know what? I could go and stick fucking packets of rugby league cards under windscreen wipers too if I didn't have to fucking work after 3 o'clock every day. Fuck this.
We have a lot of teachers that listen to the show and members too, no less. Now, I was supposed to mention this last week, and honestly, I copied it, and I probably just got sidetracked and forgot to paste it into the document, so I didn't get it done. But Dan on Facebook sent us this message. He said, "Love the pod, boys. Keep up the great work. After watching 10 years of NFL and initially not getting it nor understanding the rules, I've now developed a love and passion for the game. I follow the Baltimore Ravens, who enjoyed a good run this year but stumbled into playoffs. Firstly, I originally thought that their regular season was too short. However, after watching a few years, a 16-game regular season seems about right to me. They also have a playoff system that does not reward mediocrity like we do, having a top 8. 20 out of 32 teams get eliminated straight away after the regular season, and only 12 teams get to battle it out for the Super Bowl. The best 4 teams also get the bye. In comparison, we're 25 rounds long, plus finals. We allow 8 out of 16 teams into the finals, which is too many. To me, it shouldn't take 25 weeks to sort out who's the best. So after discussing this at length with my mate over a few beers, we're proposing a new NFL-style solution for the draw, plus a new final system. Firstly, the draw. Carve the competition up into 4 divisions, North, South, East, and West. Each team in each division plays each other twice, plus every other team once. This makes it 21-game regular season instead of 25, which is not much shorter, but still, shorter. The game of rugby league is tribal, and creating divisions with the concept of playing those teams in the division twice will create rivalries and bragging rights. In the NFL, it's a huge deal to win your division. So under this proposition, the divisions would be: North would be Cowboys, Broncos, Titans, and Newcastle. South would be Storm, Canberra, Warriors, and Dragons. West, Penrith, Parramatta, Bulldogs, and Tigers. East, Manly, Roosters, South, and Cronulla. The winner of each division with the most amount of points goes through to the finals. 2 other teams receive a wild card, and they'll be given to the teams with the most amount of points out of the teams that didn't win their division. That makes it a 6-team final series, with first and second getting the bye. And it goes through third plays 6, fourth plays third, first plays the lowest remaining seed, second place plays the highest remaining seed. The winners play in the grand final. After that's done, play some Pacific Island tests on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, Origin on a Wednesday, and 3 back-to-back games on Wednesdays. And then comes the internationals, where you can play series against New Zealand, England, etc. Thoughts?
Yeah,
I don't dislike that as a concept.
There's nothing. I think the hardest part of the sell there is when you're looking at the divisions.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially going to fucking trigger people into soft draw or who'd be in Melbourne's division?
Canberra, Warriors, and Dragons.
Okay, so you get Melbourne. No one's Melbourne wins that.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
but based on last year though, Canberra got Melbourne twice, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so.
So what is it? The winner of each plus then 2 wildcards.
The winner of each plus the next best 2, whichever division they may come from.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is.
And if you've got a strong division, then the second place team, one of those, the 2 wildcard spots should be for the taking.
I think the path of least resistance, before we go fucking reorganising everything like that, is to at the beginning of the year do a fucking draw where all it is you play this team and then every other fucking team and then play them all again.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing that gets me is you might have one. You got 2 matchups in a year. One of them might happen round 1. The other one might happen round 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then for 2 other teams that have 2 matchups, it happens round 5 and round 6.
And maybe not to that extent it doesn't happen, but it does happen. We have seen close games in proximity over 3 weeks apart or whatever. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't mind that as a system, and and there's never really any talk of soft draw and things like that. I mean, the NFL draw is created at the end of a season, and I believe it is based on results. But you do always have, you are playing those other teams in your division. That's set. You are playing them twice regardless. And then it's based on standing. It's like then it's the other teams because with 32 teams in the NFL, you do your own division twice.
Yep.
But you're not playing every other team. You're only playing like 10 of the whatever teams are left. Look, I don't hate it as a concept. I mean, I think it'd be a tough sell just because they're so resistant to fucking change.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, and that's a lot of change. I mean, that's pretty much just changed like fucking everything.
Yeah.
So,
look, if there's ever going to be something that happens like that, maybe it's now.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay, so memberships. Just want to go over them. We were going to close them off on Friday week, and I think that turns out to be the 27th of March. And look, at this stage they're tracking pretty well, and so like I think I said on Facebook earlier today that look, if we sold like another 50, that would probably be that would cover our costs and stuff like that. And so just for the sake of getting things off my plate and pushing the productions through and all that sort of stuff, like I'd be happy to start to cut it off then and go. So getting quick because they could end at any moment. Just catching up on, in case you aren't aware what's out there. This year we've got the classic membership with the merch and the stickers, etc., and the presumably the grand final weekend meetup. I mean, who knows if we'll be able to fucking travel then? But at this stage, that's 6 months away. So still possible. Option 2 is digital. It's only $4 a month. And if you go with the classic membership plus the digital, it's only $2 a month for the digital. And what we're doing, rather than being begging ass hobos, we're actually creating more work for ourselves.
We'll give you more content.
We'll give you more content, exactly. We're going to give you 5 new episodes a month. That's a new episode each week that comes out after or around the same time as the regular episode, which will remain free.
Yep.
Plus, we'll do like a game companion once a month as well, where we shoot the shit during a game and, not commentate the game, but comment on the game and shoot the shit while it's going on.
And if there's enough support for these, it also allows us to keep things rolling after the regular season and finals and stuff has gone on.
Exactly. And I mean, especially the way that these members only, we're doing our first members only episode this week after we finish recording this one. And I'm pretty happy with the stuff that we've got through from members this week in terms of questions and things like that to go on that episode. And so if it evolves and becomes its own thing, then I'd be happy to do that. It's definitely more decoupled from the week-to-week goings-on of the rugby league world, which means it would be something that we could keep pumping out year-round as well.
Yep.
What else? Option 3 is the combination of the 2 memberships, as I mentioned. Then, if you're the true like baller fucking OG TWIL Nation person, we've got a shirt where you're just going to have to trust us. It's $40 straight up, $30 if you're a 2020 member. And they're going to be produced one time and one time only. Once they go into production, they're gone. The window's open now. Mm-hmm. And I'm very happy to report that so far the take-up of that shirt is pretty high. I reckon about 2/3 of the members are grabbing it. So it's already reached and breached the level it needs to for us to produce it. No problem at all. Well and truly. So I'm not going to put it through until the memberships are closed down because I mean a lot of people are doing it. Well, everyone that's doing it at the moment is kind of doing it at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
So for keeping that in mind, just to give people a chance to get it, I'll keep it open while the memberships are open. But that's about a week and a half away, and I can't fucking wait to get this shirt done.
Yes.
Hats. Last year and for years, people have been asking for them. We had a bit of a holy war on the Facebook group last year in terms of flat brim versus curved brims. As it stands right now, curved brim is ahead by 1 unit. Both styles are just over halfway what we need to do to get them produced. So once they hit their magic number, that we're pulling trigger. So get in or not, up to you. But we won't be holding back once they're ready to go. And polo shirts are back for the final time. You can order the black one from last year if you missed out, or the white option that we brought in this year. And to be honest, we only just revived them just because I want to have a white one as well. And once we hit the magic number on those ones, same thing. They're gone, never to return.
Beautiful.
And just a reminder too, with our gear as well, like we're not producing our gear through cheap, digital producers. What we actually have been doing this for, doing merch for probably 9 or 10 years, even before memberships happened. And it's been a constant journey of figuring out who the best manufacturers are for products, where the best quality is in t-shirts, what the best methods of screen printing, embroidery, and all that sort of thing. And now, for probably at least 4 or 5 years, we're locked into suppliers that are fucking awesome, and we're super happy with the products that they pump out. And
Correct.
It's as opposed to places where it's just like you upload your graphic file and they just fucking throw it on every piece of merchandise available, and with cheap digital printing that fucking you wash it 3 times and it's fucked. So there's no Hanes beefy tees or whatever the rock bottom bullshit is out there these days. And I mean, it costs us more, and it is a bigger pain in the ass in terms of production. It's more time consuming because you've got to actually make sure things fit certain parameters and processes that are actually possible.
Yes,
but
so it's good shit.
It's good shit for people who want the good shit. thisweekinleague.com/shop. Fucking get after it.
Get on it.
That is it. That is full time for episode 342. Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, you can interact with us on Twitter. So follow at TWI, the TWI League. Facebook.com/This Week in League, and make sure you hit the community on hashtag TWIL Nation on Facebook.
And just for any new listeners, all of the comments we read out about the games are either sent at us on Twitter.
Yep. Or in the game threads that we create.
In our Facebook group, not the Facebook page. So search Facebook groups for TWIL Nation. Ask to join. We'll get you in there, and leave a comment under the game thread and get fucking podcast famous.
And we also do the episode threads as well for people for comments on the episodes as they release as well. And so and if you have a problem finding the group, just hit us up a DM on Facebook Messenger, via the page, and we'll throw you the link and everything.
That's it.
I mean, the link is probably up on the page as well, so take a look around. But if you have any trouble, just let us know. We're happy to help you. Apple Podcasts, get on there, subscribe, leave a review, leave a rating. I mentioned last week I wanted to sort of make a splash, and thank you to everyone who listened last week, because it was a huge start to the season and it represented quite a jump for us in terms of listeners. And the splash, we entered the charts. All of these were entering the charts. We entered the charts, all-time number 1 podcast in Australia for rugby.
Fuck yeah.
And a bunch of other shit, all-time number 8 podcast for rugby in Brazil, number 8 in Japan, 8 in New Zealand, 5th all-time for New Zealand. What else we got here? 9th all-time for Canada, plus a bunch of other shit top 15 in the US and Great Britain, number 11 for Netherlands, Denmark, top 15 for Sweden. It's fucking crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. Norway, top 15.
I'd volunteer to go to Sweden and help spread the word.
Yep. I would be happy to go to Denmark and spread the word too.
Nice.
And tipping. Had people ask me for the link through the week. So footytips.com.au/comps/TWIL 2020. Get in there. Once again, get on Twitter or Facebook. If you can't find a way in, we'll give you a hand and shoot you over the link. Tipping this week, the standings after round 1, 2 people with a perfect record.
Oof.
Our boy Toto, number 1, with a bullet.
Taking the pennies. Good work, son.
And then in second place, we've got JD, not JDB. And also on 8. Then we go with Frag Dog, SNS Marla, Mikus, Matt, John Pappas, JBB, Real Dad's Doppelganger, and NZ Tiger. I wonder if Real Dad's Doppelganger will be the gentleman of the profession that I won't mention, who we met at the meetup not last time, the time before.
Who has a generic name.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
I won, because you know what? He fucking is Real Dad's Doppelganger. For real.
Yes.
Which also happens to be Carl Pilkington's doppelganger.
Yeah. I feel he's less Carl and more Real Dad, though.
Yeah, but yet you say that, but Real Dad looks exactly like Carl Pilkington.
It really does. That's it.
That's it. Well, okay, so the episodes breached the 2-hour barrier. I did not think that would happen, but that's it for this week. Chase us down on the threads for the various episode comments, game comments.
Stay safe. Share toilet paper.
You know what?
Fold, don't scrunch.
Just don't be a cunt. It's such a generic, easy piece of advice. But honestly, you don't need fucking 36 eggs.
Times like this makes me appreciate all the fucking great people I have in my life.
Yeah.
Because the fucking veil of thinking that most people are just not absolute pieces of fucking trash has been lifted, and I don't think it will ever be able to be pulled down.
I went out to the shops today. I mean, I was lucky being a Costco member, and we did like our 2 monthly Costco thing about 3.5 weeks ago before this shit started going on. So we've got all the toilet paper. We haven't had to, struggle in that because Costco fucking have got double the length of toilet paper, and they're 48 in a thing, so they last you fucking like 6 months.
Yep.
So we're good on that respect. But man, I just ventured out today because I wanted to make some fucking barbecue on the weekend. So I'll go grab a brisket or something. So I went down to the butcher and you can just feel there's just this weird bad vibe of desperation in where people, it's just this heightened level of fucking like anxiety and like you can just feel it just being out around people.
Yeah, so people are trash.
Don't contribute. Don't be a cunt.
That's it.
Don't hoard fucking toilet paper and mincemeat and fucking chicken breasts and eggs.
That's it.
And baby formula. Don't eat fucking bats.
Don't eat bats.
I feel at this point it doesn't need to be said anymore, but don't.
No.
Or pangolins or whatever those little fucking things are called. Don't eat those cunts either.
Is that a racist way of saying penguin?
I mean, is there a racist connotation to calling things penguins?
I don't know.
No, there's these little armoured fucking things, like little armadillo things.
No, okay, fuck that then.
But apparently they're key players in the transmission of bat flu to humans.
Okay,
helped it cross over.
Okay, I thought they were called teeth.
Chinese people. No, and I don't know. I don't have any other help motherfuckers out. And and if people in the group, and if you're like, for example, you're a member of our Tool Nation group, and you're actually getting fucked over by the cunts, and you can't get toilet paper or something. I'm sure that we'll have people in the group to be very super happy to help you out if they've got something available in their location or whatever. Believe me. So if anyone actually needs help, fucking
just reach out.
And even like if you're a business, business stuff as well. I mean, if you provide a service or something, who knows? There might be someone that we can link you up with in the group. So we are happy to in a world of cunts. We are happy to enrich and defend the lives of our people.
If you live in Brisbane and you are braving the outside for delicious succulent meals, go out and support Ben's Burgers in Fortitude Valley and Hero Prees in South Brisbane. Both fine dining establishments where you can get takeout to avoid dying of fucking Ebola AIDS. But
coronavirus.
Yes.
Yes. That's it.
Nice.
Sermon over.
We love you all.
Take care of yourselves.
Bye.